And welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. In our last situation, we had something of a problem, ship coming apart in mid-flight, which, from what I've seen on the Kerbal Space Program forum, is due large part to coming out of time acceleration too quickly. And so I'm going to try this flight again, making sure to handle transitions into and out of time acceleration much more carefully. And also, as much overkill as it may seem to be, or in fact actually be, I'm going to add a set of solid rocket boosters to this thing, because I want to make sure that it's got plenty of delta V to get into that all-desired 100-kilometer orbit, which this ship doesn't seem to be able to do. It doesn't seem to be able to get into orbit if you aim for an orbit less than, say, 150 to 200 kilometers. At least that's what I've seen in my tests. So we'll just put this big honking booster on here. And yeah, that looks good. And now zoom in here and strut this bad boy down. On both ends. That should take care of that. Let's see. Well, we'll have to fix the staging there. Okay. These guys come down here. That comes down here. Solid rockets, liquid engines, center liquid engine fires, solid boosters separate. Then eventually up here, the decouplers for this goes. Yeah, and the separator motors go at the same time. Yeah, okay. That should be better. And then this stuff up here should already be good. That separates. Solid separator motors go at the same time for it as well. And the Nerva lights up. Okay. And I've received some feedback about how I should make my lander shorter and squatter, perhaps bigger around instead of taller. And in a future design, I will try that. But for now, I have a serious belief that this vehicle, this lander, can make it to and successfully land on Duna. And I'm just stubborn enough to prove it. To keep flying it until I prove it. Let's see, just a second. Control Z to undo. And then delete that. Okay. All right, let's launch it. Okay, looks like the physics engine has caught up with us. We have Jebediah Kerman as our pilot. And let's see, I want the orbital information. And I will keep smartass on tap as well if I should need it for steering. I'm going to try to stay away from using even that though. All right, let's rock. A good extra kick from the solid rocket boosters. Okay, they're out of there. Still accelerating very nicely. Holding steady. Of course, the acid test is when I start to turn, do I get a whole bunch of wobble? Well, let's start to turn and find out. So far, pretty good. And I think that's going to be the end of a whole lot of lag right there. Okay. Cut. Apoapsis is already 149. See if I can stop the blasted spin. I will say that the SAS seems to be better at stopping spin these days. Now if we can just stop the pilot from inducing it. Come on. Pitch over. Need that sucker just about horizontal now. In fact, a little bit past horizontal. Like that. And burn. Take a look at our map. Alright, now we'll zoom out real quick. Way out. Okay. Oh, got it. It's way over there. That's going to take a while to get into the right position for a transfer burn, but might just be crazy and try to do something crazy. Okay. Because I'm thinking that we're actually in a good position right now to go ahead and begin a transfer burn to get out of Kerbal orbit and to start shaping a solar orbit to meet up with Duna. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, we've got an orbit, so we're not going to be coming crashing down like on the last flight or the flight before that or whatever it was. So we can do this. And I'm going to go ahead and risk a little bit of physics time warp. It allows me to time warp with the drives running. RCS off. We don't need to be wasting that. Okay. Looking good. Trying to keep prograde. We're burning out very quickly here. Okay. Looking good. Heading past the moon's orbit. And there was an encounter there. I bet we don't have one from Minmus. Nope. Okay, we have Kerbal escape. Let's see how the orbit is shaping up. It's getting out there quickly. Time warp back to normal. Cut. All right. This will take us up here. We've been going faster than Duna up until about here. It'll speed up ahead of us. And get out to apoapsis and circularize is my bet. Ship is still intact. That's an important detail. I have to admit, this is like the third take on this video, and in the previous ones, the ship came apart, just like in the last attempt. And I'm not exactly sure what it's all about, but I do know that coming down from high time acceleration, you want to be not on the map view, but on the ship view. And you want to do it not really super fast. You want to do it gradually. And I'm going to go into time acceleration the same way, gradually. We are now orbiting the Sun as opposed to Kerbal. And while it may not be the most efficient way to do it, I'm going to go for get to apoapsis here and circularize, betting that somewhere along the line we'll end up with an encounter. Okay, I have to watch the time to apoapsis number because I need to be on the ship screen when I start coming out of time acceleration. And to do that gradually. Otherwise, the ship is liable to just break into pieces. At least that's what's happened on several previous takes. It's very frustrating. Do all this and spend as much as 45 minutes or more getting almost all the way out and then have the ship just break into pieces for no reason. That really is something they need to fix. Okay, time is getting down there. I'm watching my time to apoapsis number on the display there. Stepping down my time acceleration as it gets closer so that I don't overshoot. And another step, and another step, all the way down. And let's get prograde and burn to circularize, watching for a Duna encounter. All right. That's coming up. A little bit of physics time warp here to just make this take less than half a forever. No more than that, though, I think. Well, we had an encounter.